Modern gravel bikes are getting out of hand, which is why I wanted to build this bike, because I thought you would find it just as fascinating as I did. While the frame sets the standard, it's the parts that set the tone for this whole build, all the way down to the wheels, which are Chris King GRX Di2s, which have several things that I think you'll find fascinating. The rims are fusion fiber, which is different than carbon because it's made in the USA, it's more compliant, and it's recyclable. I know I talk about it a lot. I love this stuff. Interesting side note, Chris King is actually where I found out about fusion fiber, forge and bond for the first time. Yeah, and I haven't looked back. King also suggested Groundkeeper for some custom decals on the rims. It's very straightforward, you could use any design, and the template is already figured out. But take note, we have to put these on ourselves. So mark your spots, take your time, read the instructions. You'll be fine. I hope. And these rings of comfort are laced up to Chris King's two-tone hubs. I like these because they're also made in the USA, come with a lifetime warranty, and are almost as fun to look at as they are to ride. Look at that adorable little through axle. It looks like a Chris King headset cap. Beautiful. And these wheels are set up with Schwalbe G1 Ultra Bites. They're 700 by 45. But I got room for plenty more. So for all the reasons I just explained is why I went with this wheel set, but also because this bike is kind of a wild child, and it's gonna wanna go into some weird situations, and I know that these wheels are gonna be capable and comfortable for long sessions over some rough stuff. And because the bike was built at King, we were able to add a lot of these fun pops of color, from the seat collar to the headset. And it just gives the bike a little bit more of a playful vibe, which, one, I love, and two, I don't know if I can help myself. But honestly, one of the hardest parts of the whole build was picking the colors for the pops. Are there different colors? Can we pick colors?
We are gonna do that, yeah.
Shit. It was, man, that... Greg, what's the biggest misconception of Chris King?
We don't expect our bearings to wear out, and we are still very much a small company.
Everything from Chris King, made in the USA, lifetime warranty, and color options. I mean, to me, it just... But real talk, what color would you have gone with? All right, what's the deal with this frame? This is a Taos from Parlee, who has over 25 years experience making some of the highest quality carbon fiber frames on the market. And this one's particularly interesting because this is not a frame I would expect to see from a high-end frame manufacturer, which is why I thought you would find this so interesting. I would have expected some fast, uncomfortable, race-oriented gravel bike, like a road bike with clearance for big tires. But the Taos is much more of an adventure seeker. Sure, you could race on it, but its heart is more in the mountains, opposed to trying to be the fastest person through the mountains. That's so sick. I love it. And this is in part due to the monocoque design, which means the frame is one piece, and they can design in compliance and stiffness at different parts, which means this thing excels in the descents, it's very comfortable, and it is very light. All right, bottle cages, pedals, this thing weighs in at 20.3 pounds. Or 9¼ kilograms. Plus, it's got one of these cool trunk things, so you just... You know, and then all your tools and things are in here. There's actually a pump in here. And I'm personally kind of a fan of the raw carbon look. What do you think? It is fucking cool looking. And for a little context, compared to the Stigmata, which I really enjoyed, this bike is just a little more slacked out in all the areas. Only by a little bit, but it adds up to a more compliant, more comfortable, stable ride, which is just... I just appreciate it. Honestly, I'm just so impressed that they didn't make an aggressive, uncomfortable race machine. Respect. And don't get me wrong, this thing is not slow by any means. It's just got its priorities figured out. You guys are ready? All right, let's talk about this group set. On this bike, I decided to do something I don't normally do and went with Shimano GRX Di2 because I know and love SRAM, which is why I thought it made sense to see how the other side lives and go with Shimano on this build. Because ultimately, I want to be able to give you an informed perspective of what both brands have to offer. Because without you, I wouldn't even be here.
And it is different.
This is an electronic 2x12 setup with a 31-48 in the front and an 11-36 in the back. And for someone that's really used to one by, it's almost comical watching me shift gears for the first 20 minutes on this bike.
How does it go? There's another ring.
A couple quick notable differences between this and SRAM is the battery lives in the seat post. You charge it from the derailleur. The shifter ergonomics are phenomenal. And the blips that SRAM just came out with, Shimano's done that for years. You switch your Garmin screen with this, it's awesome. And the shifting experience is incredibly smooth, as long as you can get used to shifting two things. That's a one-by problem. Yeah, maybe like a SRAM versus Shimano video? Drop a 9 in the chat. What else? What else? Oh, this is interesting.
This Ergon all-road saddle appears to have boost in it.
For anyone that's ever had a pair of Adidas with boost in it, the experience is very unique. So the prospect of having that in a saddle is color me intrigued. Of course, it's integrated handlebars and stem from FSA. It always looks amazing, and every mechanic always hates setting it up.
But look at that color combo. Oh my God. There's even a little bump down there. Come on.
Now, before we do a proper mission on this rig, I'd like to know which setup you would prefer, the Taos or this bomb track. Similar, yet very different.